was such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com's primetime kickoff event. Save up to 50% site-wide plus doorbusters. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Gentlemen, we want it all. We want to host dinner parties and avoid people. We want to be one with nature and not one with bears. We want to be financially responsible and buy a commercial wood-burning offset barbecue smoker. Sadly, we can't have it all. Unless we're at Sport Clips Haircuts, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with sports watching, shampoo, massaging, relaxation. Sport Clips, it's a game changer.
Hey y'all, this is Ronte, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the pimento cheese. I was like, go cheese, go pimento, go honey, go get it.
Hi, this is Chantrice, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the mild spiciness of the pickled jalapenos. No, it's the crispy chicken. Actually, I can't decide. It's the entire sandwich.
Order the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
All right, friends, I'm running a 60-second ad break, and when that break is over, we'll begin our stream properly. If you are hearing my voice right now, you are already a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop on Twitch. Or you're watching this VOD on my YouTube VODs, because tonight's VOD will be uploaded. It will not be a local copy. It will be the Twitch version. So you have heard some music, and now you're hearing my voice. Once this 60-second ad break is over, we're going to start our stream properly. So I hope you're ready for that. But, it's like 20 seconds or so. Tonight's stream, we'll talk a little bit about some video game stuff. We'll get mad about more Twitter nonsense. A little bit of news in regards to one cool anime story that I wanted to share that is fun. And, of course, talking about some anime in the second hour. We are going to get started with tonight's stream in just a moment or two. I recommend you get ready for it. It's going to get started in just a moment. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a Lego set and then start a model kit. And of course, I'm here to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, well, you can go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. It is a Saturday evening. We are light on viewers at the start of this stream. I hope that turns around. If it doesn't, it'll be a real casual stream. If it does turn around, that would be nice because I would like to have people here to watch as we build a spaceman. We're going to build an astronaut in the LEGO Shuttle 3-in-1, and then we're going to start the Gundam Schwarzette from Witch from Mercury, which is a fantastic looking mobile suit with, I'm just going to call it a fuck ton of stickers. Oh no, so many stickers for this kit. It's a wash in stickers. But that's later because we got to build the spaceman first. We got to build a Lego friend, which we will do. Other things happening tonight. We'll talk about some nonsense. We'll talk about some fun stuff. Not much going on. My original plan was that I was going to chat with all of you about 3 anime tonight in the second hour. Unfortunately, my schedule got way behind, and 2 shows that are Saturday shows, I didn't get to watch one of them. I only watched one of the 2. So my boss is goofy. We'll have to wait. I might talk about it on Sunday. I might wait and do it again. But we got 2 episodes of Frieren, and we have 1 episode of a new show to talk about. I Shall Survive Using Potions, which was fun. So we'll talk about those. So at least we have that. Between you and me, that's all we need. We've got 2 anime because we have 2 episodes of 1 show. So 3 episodes to talk about in the second hour. Mostly, we're just going to hang out and chill and talk about a bunch of stuff, good and bad in the world. I am going to retweet my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us tonight. Maybe some people are hanging out and they're going to be like, wait, Pat's streaming tonight. I'll go hang out for that. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know. Or people will be in the Makers and Craftings tab and want to just pop in to see some Lego and some model kit building. Or maybe it'll be just real chill tonight. That's also okay. We just do this. Okay, great. Let's build a Lego Mans. We're building an astronaut. This was the 3-in-1 kit. We built a space shuttle and a spaceship. Throttle Bottom says, I'll hang out for that. Hell yeah. Thank you, Throttle Bottom. I appreciate it. But yeah, now we're going to build an astronaut, which is fun. That's a fun thing that you can build. That's a little outside the box. It's within the theme, but it's different, obviously, than a space shuttle or a spaceship, which are, similar but different, but they're in the same family. This is a little outside the norm, even though it is an astronaut. It's still like a person. It does not have a minifig inside it controlling it. It is not to scale with the other items, but still pretty cool. Some of these 3-in-1s I think are clever as hell, and I recommend them. They're usually $15 or less, and you get 3 builds out of it. And usually there's one really good one pretty good one, and one that's just kind of okay. This one I think has 3 good ones. This might be like the least good of it, but it's still pretty neat. So, thumbs up from your boy Pat. If you've been following me on social media today, you may know that I was at dinner, and I smell like a fire right now because they had like a portable stove, like an outdoor stove, where you could see the fire burning in it. It wasn't like a fire pit, but it was like a portable stove, I think is the best way to describe it. But there's a photo on my Blue Sky and also on my Twitter of that. I was not expecting to be working a fire tonight, but I quickly took over because the owner of the house started the project, and it was very clear that he was not going to get a good fire going. And so I was helping, and then by helping, I mean I took over. But it was a nice little barbecue, hanging out. The couple that was throwing it, they're going away for a while. Another couple that was there are also going on a vacation, and these are couples that my parents spend a lot of time with, so it was nice for them to go over and see, and I was invited, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go, but then I went, and it was nice. I am full of food, and I smell like smoke, but like from a fire, not from cigarettes, and it was a nice evening out. It did mean that I did not see, I have not seen any of the wrestles that's happening. This is the wrong piece. No, this is the right piece. Wait. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking at that wrong. I was looking at it from the wrong way. Okay, great. So yeah, I did not see the wrestles that are happening on either channel. So I'm out of date on that. And like I said, I originally planned to watch 2 shows today to be able to talk about them, and 1 show yesterday. I watched the yesterday shows, but then the shows today did not end up watching. And then also I have made the Pat Baer executive decision that I am not going to be covering on a weekly basis Spy Family Season 2. I will be watching it, of course, but I will not be covering it because I just think I'm not going to cover Season 2s or 3s of shows anymore. You know, it's bad enough that I cover a whole season of a show, and then like episode 9 or 10, there are new people hanging out that don't know the show I'm talking about. But if you haven't seen Season 1, Part 1 or 2 of Spy Family, and I'm talking about Season 2, then there are some viewers that are lost. And I don't like that. But I do like talking about the anime I'm watching, and I will continue to do that. It's just that in this instance, I have made the executive decision that I will not be covering later seasons of a show. But please know that I am watching Season 2 of Spy Family, and I am also watching Season 2 of The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent, because that show whips ass, and I'm excited about that. So there's a few things. There are still a few shows this season that I am watching casually, and then there's some shows that I am watching and talking about consistently, and and just making sure like the day an episode drops, I'm watching it. Sometimes, as it happens, I watch shows as they come out in the afternoon. Other times I will watch them at my own convenience, because I have stopped following accounts on Twitter of people that spoil anime immediately. So that makes my life a lot easier. When people are like, oh, I can't believe this. And it's like, no, I don't need to follow live tweeters of anime anymore. Even if you do share some cool shit on occasion, it is not worth it. It's not worth the risk of getting stuff spoiled. Speaking of Twitter, we have to do it. It's the ongoing saga. We are compelled to converse about shenanigans. When there are shenanigans, we must talk about shenanigans. I put this on wrong. I'll put that on right there. So we must talk about the explanation that Elon Musk had for getting rid of, when you put a link to a website like an article, you used to have a URL card. That is the official terminology for it. It only meant for real. Let's see. This needs to be like this. We need one of these. It meant that you would just get a preview of the article, the link you were going to be checking. Now those are gone. You're just going to get an image from the article. Or if there's not an image associated with the article, you'll just get a generic image from the website. That is clearly because there are articles out there that insult Elon Musk, and he doesn't like that. His explanation for it, of course, is not that. It is not, I don't like sites that bully me or say things that are very true that make me feel bad. His explanation is, those ugly URL cards with repetitive text were making my eyes bleed. So much better now. So that apparently his thinking was, or his at least presumed thinking was, that every person that was linking to something where they got a card, the preview image card or the URL card, they were also cutting and pasting the name of the article, and so it was repetitive, which, like, I'm sure there are cases where that happened, but that's not annoying at all. But apparently it broke with the readability of the timeline, which is like, yeah, those, what? No. But in reality, most likely, Elon didn't like people clicking away from Twitter. You need to be able to see the ads. And hey, I know that one of you right now is typing into chat about those ads, and you're going to bring up the thing that I'm going to be talking about. Don't worry, I'll chat about it in a second. But yes, so we'll get to the ads part, but I want to keep on this for a second. So Elon also said, next, we'll remove all the action buttons with their superfluous interaction counts from the main timeline. Just view counts will show, unless you tap into a post. This will greatly improve readability. That's no, maybe, hey, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say no one. I am not aware myself, personally, your friend Pat. Wait, what happened here? What's going on here? This looks like this. Oh, that's what I messed up. I messed up and I'm fixing it. I am not aware of people who say the issue they have with Twitter as a terms of readability, the issue that they ran into with Twitter was that the numbers at the bottom of a tweet don't work. Like, don't work for me, brother. Like, seeing how many replies or quote tweets or likes a tweet has, is hurting it. So, because I should say, no one cares about the view count. Nobody cares how many times it's viewed because the view counts are skewed. Because scrolling by a tweet and not even reading it and not acknowledging it often is considered a view. So view counts mean nothing. It's not a metric that means anything. But likes, replies, and retweets are a measure of something. They are legitimately, outside of bots, which like bots and reply bots, but you can formate a notification like, okay, this tweet is doing numbers. When they say this tweet is doing numbers, and of course they would say posts because they're X and they post. They wouldn't, when someone says this tweet is doing numbers, what they mean is people are replying or liking or retweeting, quote or otherwise, this tweet. They are not saying, look at how many people viewed this tweet. That is not an indication. That is not something that a metric people look at. And saying it's about readability is hilarious when you take into account new mobile ads. X rolls out, this is from Mashable, X rolls out new ad format that can't be reported, blocked. The new ads also don't disclose who the advertiser is or that they are even ads. So they're just putting in clickbait now. They're just selling clickbait for people to, like, it's not funny. That this part's not funny. Like, there's nothing humorous about this. I would say use, browse Twitter on your phone with Ghosterate, or use whatever you can to avoid looking at ads on the mobile side of Twitter if you can at all avoid it, because it's bad. It's getting worse. I was about to say it's getting bad. It's already bad. It's getting worse. I love this from Mashable. The rollout of these ads provides the public with a hint regarding how much the company is struggling to attract advertisers, because these are low-quality ads. And the idea that they are hidden ads, these don't appear to be advertising, they're not, from accounts on Twitter that you can block or mute, because obviously that is a problem when when advertisers are like, well, how many people actually look at our ads? And they can't give you an answer because there is no good answer. You're still just getting NFT bullshit. Yeah, of course. A lot of it's going to be NFTs. These haven't rolled out, I don't think, to everybody. But they are showing up in the For You feed. So if you have your regular timeline, you might not be getting these. These seem to be appearing only in the For You. Also, I've noticed on my phone, can't speak for everyone, I've noticed on my phone that every time I open Twitter, it's on the For You page, not the following tab. I want it to be on the following tab, not the For You tab, because I don't care about the For You. I just want a chronological order of tweets that exist. I don't need anything besides that. So, yikes. In that respect, of course. We're almost done with this leg. This should come together pretty easy. We've already done most of it. We did the body here, and now we're working on the legs, and then we'll work on the arms. So this should come together pretty quickly. The ads don't allow users to like or retweet the ad posts, which is a clear indication that they're not tweets, because, this site is built on the idea of liking and replying, but you can't like and reply this nonsense. All right, one leg done. Fact that the new ad format doesn't disclose who is behind the ad or that it is even an ad at all. It's just some bullshit. It's just some real bullshit. It's just the kind of shit that you see on a website and you think, oh shit, I don't have my ad blocker on this website, because otherwise you wouldn't see this nonsense. Written copy text, a photo, fake avatar. The sole purpose is to make the ad look like an organic post. Yeah. And Mashable describes it as chum box advertising, which I think is a very fair terminology to use in that respect. Because it does have a chum bucket vibe to it. All right, let's put this here. We are building the other leg. The other leg has a slightly different boot, which is kind of fun. It's not fully symmetrical. There. And then we got to build the other part of the leg here. Just putting this together nice and easy. Another one of these ads says, these incredible cool gadgets that are going to sell out this year. Action now. And then one of them says, if you suffer from ringing ears, you're going to love this recent breakthrough. And then it's like a photo. And then you have to click on it. And if you click anywhere on it, you just get sent to a link. So obviously don't click on those links. Oh, apparently some people have seen it show up on their following feed and not just the For You feed. And that's a nightmare. Yeah, it's a real bummer. Let's see. Yeah, that's all really I got to say of this. It looks really terrible. It is obviously Twitter is catching up with the debts that it has acquired, in part in the purchase of Twitter, but it just in general, their kind of debt situation and the lack of advertising, that people are, the lack of interest in advertising. And also, of course, that so many people who worked there that were in those departments no longer work there. There are many reasons why things are completely foobar in that company. It all rolls back to Elon Musk, of course, but it's bad. So I got to ask, since this is a humanoid but not a minifig, is this kit secretly a triple changer transformer? Like, who can say this astronaut isn't 20 feet tall? So Lashbrook, you could surmise, I guess, that this astronaut becomes the space shuttle and the spacecraft. It's a stretch. It's, I think, a bit too much of a stretch, Lashbrook. In my opinion, that's a bit too far. Like, I don't necessarily agree with you that that's what's happening here. Because it's, yeah. Because the thing is, the flag would also then have to be very big. And I don't know if that is. I just think that you are overthinking it. And that's okay. Overthinking it could be fine. But myself personally, I don't see it, my friend. I don't see it. All right, let's get this together here. In the world of anime, of course, we'll talk more later. But I did want to say, now, if you've been watching my streams for any amount of time, you may remember how one of the things I really enjoy talking about is when anime influences Japan. And I'm not just talking about, like, that show was so good, it sold so many copies. Like, the fact that they ran out of stamps 2 years ago that were Demon Slayer themed. These, like, holiday stamps, because part of the cultural thing that's been lost over time is that you, around the new year, send notes and thanks. And it was popular to get holiday stamps from the Japanese government, from the post office. And the Demon Slayer stamps sold out, and it was a cultural phenomenon because Demon Slayer is and still continues to be very big there. I'm not talking about that kind of thing. I'm talking about, in the past, I have chatted about how Slam Dunk was such a good manga and anime that people got into basketball. I'm talking about how camping around Mount Fuji increased phenomenally, like 1,000%. Because Laid Back Camp is such a cozy, good anime that people were like, we haven't been camping. We should go camping by Mount Fuji. Like, that was a phenomenal thing. That an idol show about zombies increased, set in Saga, increased tourism to Saga. Like, those are the kind of things I'm talking about here. And we have another one of those that is another, like, anime so good that people are like, well, I want to get into that thing that I saw in the anime. In this case, it's thanks to Bocchi the Rock that guitar sales have increased massively in Japan, including, of course, most notably, the Yamaha Pacifica line, which is the guitar that Bocchi used, Hitori used in the show. Bocchi the Rock is so good that Japanese people were like, I should probably own a guitar. And that fucking rules. According to the news organization Senkai, sales of musical instruments in general have grown 73%. Apparently, during the pandemic, a thing that people cut back on in Japan was musical instruments because they couldn't go and practice places or perform publicly. So apparently, the upswing was probably going to happen anyway, but it's happened way faster and way more dramatically than previously assumed due to the popularity of Bocchi the Rock. But of course, a lot of CDs from it. They did the band that recorded for the music there put out a CD, and that sold out. Physical copies sold out, which is very funny to think about. So they said that the Pacifica 616 or 611 which is used later in the series. Because there's also a Les Paul, but that one's, that's the biggest seller. They've also seen shortages on instruments, that any instrument used in the series, that people are just like into it, getting into it. And folks that pay attention to things like this had noticed in the past that musical anime can often increase sales. Apparently, sales of the shamisen did not increase because those Snow White notes came out. Although those Snow White notes fucking whipped ass, except for the end, it ends in kind of a fart, but whatever. You know my feelings on that, probably. But yeah, this series is so good. But we saw that in K-On! a bit. Various anime about people playing music often hits folks very hard in Japan. Like I said, tourism always goes up when an anime about a place comes out and is a hit because people want to go see the thing at the place that they saw in the anime they like. But in this case, it is encouraging folks. And you know what? Part of that is also not just people wanting it for themselves, but an introduction, like imagine you have a kid and that kid is into this band and they're buying rock music because they're finding they really like guitar rock because of this anime, and you want to encourage that music, and so you buy them a guitar because you're like, I have friends who are parents who are like, I don't want to force my likes on my kid, but if they show any interest in the things I like, I might go a little overboard. And I do think that that is the situation that some parents are in right now, where they're just like, oh, you like that anime about with the bands, and you like to get, yeah, I'll buy you a guitar. Yeah, all right. I think it's just very cute. Also, apparently, like teaching books, like instruction books, are also selling really well, and that's great. That is just a thing that I love very much. I'm always going to love hearing about that. The effect of when Japan gets into a thing, in this case an anime, so much that it changes the culture. In the same way that we've talked about KFC, you have to pre-order chicken dinners around Christmas time. Christmas, not really a Japanese holiday, of course, due to religious connotations, but because of expats living in Japan in college, it becoming a college thing that you and your friends celebrate Christmas Eve together. And Christmas cake being a thing where you split a cake. But then also, well, if you want, you can't just get turkey. It's not easy to get turkey in Japan, but you can get a bucket of fried chicken and mashed potatoes and gravy and, you know, whatever, and a vegetable at KFC. And then also, because they started selling Christmas bundles, somebody looks at the world that we live in and goes, well, Japanese KFCs still have a Colonel Sanders standing outside. That's a man with a white beard and white hair. Let's just put a Santa hat on him. Now Colonel Sanders is Santa at Christmas time in Japan because there's light in this world. There's some good shit in this world, and that's one of the good shits that exists in this world, is that if you're in Japan, if you see a Santa Claus, it is not always, but most likely you are seeing a statue of the Colonel from KFC. And I don't know, that just makes me happy to think about. I always like that, the weird influences pop culture can have on Japan. Somebody asked me the other day about Haikyuu. Haikyuu being an incredibly successful manga and anime. Did that increase volleyball in Japan? And apparently it has not, because volleyball's already fucking popular in Japan. It couldn't get more popular than it could have, but it didn't get more popular than it already is because it's already very popular because you can play it a lot of the year, both indoor and outdoor. So people are psyched about playing volleyball. All right, we are done with our astronaut here, our spacemans. We got a cool little backpack, rocket backpack here. Got our friend ready to go. Put him there. All that's left, got to build our flag. Got to build our high-flying flag here. Should be very quick to build this. And then we will put all this aside, and then we will start working on a model kit. All right, so let's now look at some news of the day. See if there's any news here. Okay, click on that. Let's see. I got some news stuff to check about here. Let's see. All right, we'll look at that. Hey, in good video game company news, it's so rare. There's a unionization effort happening at the Just Cause developers Avalanche Studios group. Remember, there are two different Avalanches out there. This is the one that makes Just Cause, not the other one. So the Just Cause studio, around 100 devs are, let's see, around 100 employees, I should say, not devs, specifically. Around 100 employees at Just Cause developer Avalanche Studios are unionizing. That's about a fifth of the Swedish team is now bargaining for the company's management for a fair contract. Union, which is a Swedish trade union. So, of course, this is in Switzerland. Or, it's not Switzerland. This is in Sweden. I apologize. What am I even saying? This is in Sweden that this is happening. But that is just some good fucking news. And we, of course, hope that this all works out for our friends over in Sweden. They've been working on it for a while for some union, from bargaining, collective bargaining. And one of the issues they are raising in their negotiations are a 4-day work week. That is one thing that they are trying to get. And there is an explanation, which is great. While 1 in 5 workers joining the union might seem small, Swedish union membership is different than here in the United States, as workers can join a trade union without a union election. You do not need an election. You can just join a union. So apparently about 70% of the country is in some union or other, which is cool. Let's see. And who knows if this is true? Who knows if this is like for reals? But the statement from Avalanche Studios Group is not a no comment, and it is not a, well, we think that individuals or whatever. It's we're committed to creating the best possible conditions for all Avalanchers to thrive. They do call their employees Avalanchers, which is bad, I will say. We support and welcome any initiative that goes in that direction. That also means we listen, invite dialogue, and encourage people to bring forward their perspectives and needs. Very crafted. After all, it's thanks to each and every Avalancher that we're able to make the great games we're known for. But this is like not a bash on unions. And again, 70% of the workforce in the country of Sweden is in a union of some sort. So it's a bit different. And also there was there were a lot of issues with HR not too long ago in this company. So it makes sense that they are pushing. And then it also makes sense that there was a well-crafted PR statement because previously they did not have one of those and had to make a public apology for some of the treatment of their employees were feeling, the mistreatment employees were feeling vis-a-vis, their HR. So, but it's good. They're currently working on Contraband in partnership with Xbox. Open world co-op game exclusive to Xbox. So that's what they're currently working on. I don't know. That's just fucking cool, I think. And also cool is our Spacemans. Our Spacemans is done. I'm going to take a photo of our astronaut here, and then we will move on and start working on a cool model kit. Start working on the Schwarzette here in a second. Sorry for the screen shake a bit. I'm getting people liked my Instagram photo, which is nice. Thank you for liking my photos on Instagram. I don't post on Instagram that often, so it's nice when people like those photos. That's just fun for me. All right, let's get a little set here. Boop. Great, we're done. Great question, Aristovan. Also, hi, Aristovan. Which of the 3 builds did you like the most? And well, actually, we can look at the whole thing here for a second. I can get this photo here. Oops. Hold on. Sorry. Wrong photo. Wrong photo. I need to look at the man. We'll pull the man out here. We'll pop this into there. Now we can look at all of these. We can look at all of them here. We got our space shuttle. We've got our spaceship. And we've got our astronaut. Of these 3, I think the space shuttle was my favorite. I think the space shuttle was very cool. I do like the spaceman because it's different. It's a different vibe, and I do appreciate that different vibe. And I think the spacecraft is fine. I think the spacecraft is very much like in keeping with what you would see in one of these builds. It's very like, yeah, of course this is something you're going to be building here. It makes sense. Whereas the space shuttle, while classic, I love the arm reaching out with the satellite, that you can have it all connected and out there. I think that's very cool that these open. I thought that was neat. And it's just a kind of fun, classic space shuttle design. So I think the space shuttle is really good. And that was probably my favorite of the 3. Now we are moving on to the Schwarzette from Mobile Suit Gundam, Witcher Mercury. It's going to have so many goddamn stickers, like just an abominable amount of stickers, but some of the stickers are do this or that, do this one or that one. So we'll have to go through and start looking at the stickers. Most likely it'll be like, do you want the one that's just black, or do you want the one that has cool colors? And the answer is cool colors. So it'll be like these, and these, and these, and this one, and these, and that one. Obviously. Any instance where I could use cool, fun, neon colors, I'm going to use the cool, fun, neon colors. And I don't know why I even bother making the ones that aren't cool neon colors, because it feels like a waste of everyone's time. To me, anyway. Like, I want the cool eyes. Like, I don't want the ones that are not cool as hell looking. I don't know why I would want the ones that aren't cool as hell looking. I don't know. I'm sure maybe, you know what? I guess it's nice having an option. Also, look at this fucking cool blade. Oh, that's so cool. That's so neat. There's some fucking good shit for this kit. This kit is fantastic looking. Also, it is a little bland color-wise as a kit. Black and gray and white. So to have bright stickers, I think, is beneficial to the build. So I think that is very neato. And then 810. Because this kit wasn't around for a lot of the show, I might be struggling here and there. It's been a hot minute since I watched an episode of Witcher Mercury, of course, but I should endeavor to figure this out, because it's similar to some other kits, but also I've had a lot of time working on Elfris. Like lately I've built three Elfriths so far. Yeah, Elfrith Thorn, and Elfrith Jus. So I have a lot of experience with that, and of course aerials, because I've built 2 different aerials. So some experience with that as well. C11. Get this together here. Built so many goddamn high grades. So many wonderful goddamn high grades. It was a question in my of course I don't want to say what my answer was, but I did get asked a question in the latest Q&A, my end of September Q&A for my Patreon, I should say, was asked about what my favorite scale of model kit is. I talked a bit about that. All right, so then I need sticker 2 is going to go here, basically. So I'm going to clean up the top of this a little. And then we have our first sticker of the build. And again, honestly, the only sticker on the head, and that's kind of not nonsense, right? That feels nonsensical, like, because we use plastic for the eyes. We can zoom in a little more here. Because we use plastic for the colors for the eyes, we don't use an eye sticker on here. The head only has one sticker. Hello, Gundam Vault. Welcome. We just started our own Gundam here, the Gundam Schwarzette HG. But yeah, it is rare to only have one sticker on a head. Obviously, the Witcher Mercury kits have no poly caps, which is lovely and is a fun build choice. But these kits do have quite a few stickers, and I'm not opposed to that. I've kind of gotten over my dislike of stickers because they are a necessity, especially in a high grade, especially in a kit that is like a variation of another kit. They're going to just put out the color correcting stickers. It is nice when they're at least very vibrant, but again, this kit has a lot of stickers. And again, we're not going to use all 4 of these. We're going to use the vibrant color ones. And then, of course, there are backups if we fuck up. But hopefully we won't fuck up because it would be a real shame if we did. But yeah, we do have the non-colored ones as the backup, I guess. But if there is an option to use a nice color, I'm gonna take in that option. Hey, if you've been wondering, when am I going to be able to fucking finally play Redfall in 60 frames a second? Don't worry, on a console, that update has come. The Redfall update that gives you 60 FPS is here. And you were like, they didn't have that before? No. Wait, Redfall came out in 2023? Yes. I know some people that enjoyed it, but it was, by many accounts, a disappointing game. But yes, the second big patch will add the Game Pass multiplayer games long-awaited 60 frames per second mode on Xbox Series X and S, along with a bunch of gameplay improvements and bug fixes that you would expect. But the big story there is, of course, the 60 frames per second, which I know some people have been wanted for that game. So that's performance mode, some new stealth takedowns, new controller settings, and a bunch of stuff. And apparently they improved the stealth, which sounds good for people that want to be stealthy or maybe want to play by themselves, and they picked a class that is not good for that, perhaps. And apparently, there are some accessibility options that were not there presently at the beginning, previously, which is a shame that they were not there previously. But it is nice that they're there now. Again, would have been nice if they were there at launch, because it helps a lot of people when those are there. Does not seem like this would be enough for some people. I would say it probably is not enough to get people to come back to it that gave up on it, but it might be enough for some people who were on the fence about trying it out to maybe see if some of this is going to be good. But it is, I would say it's nice they didn't just give up on it. They are patching it. I think that is good. And again, is it too little too late? Probably. But is it nice that it's there? Certainly. I am going to panel line this right now. There are still a couple pieces that need to go on there, but I'm afraid it's going to be hard to get behind I'll clip it up. This big halo, effect piece here. I think when that's in, it's going to be harder to panel line. So I'm going to do it before I put that on there. And there's some parts that have to go on after that, but I feel like it's just going to be easier to get in here and then especially to clean up. So we'll just kind of panel line now as we're going, and then I can get more detailed once I put that on there. Let's see. Okay. Apparently this is their first update since June, so that's quite a while. And then some people were hoping that the update in October might be like Halloween content or something, since it's a vampire game, but apparently the update is stability and 60 frames per second. But people were hoping that something would come out this month. And they did get something, and that's good. Again, I don't think it's going to be enough, but it's nice that it came out. Some kind of update came out. Let's see. Other news. You may have seen just a ton of fucking ads for Phantom Liberty. Because apparently, CD Projekt Red spent $21 million marketing the expansion / start of the fixes of Cyberpunk 2077. They spent $60 million on developing it, which includes, again, fixes to the original game. But also, as I said that just there, and I want to reiterate, $21 million on marketing because they're trying to change the narrative. Because there are some people that gave some goodwill because of the anime being cool as hell. But other people are like, yeah, but the game still sucks. And then 3 years later, only 3 years later, of course, there have been some DLC. This was the only planned update. There was a free update to the game, but it's not, a content update. This is the only scheduled expansion for it. Apparently, it is making it better. But yeah. Let's see. But it's nowhere near the $140 million they spent on marketing the first time around. So, they put some money into it. Let's see. There was a translation error originally about how much money it was, but the money we just said now is the actual amount. That's just a lot of fucking money. Hey, Lord Crashington, and welcome. You missed our Lego Spaceman. Our astronaut got built. Here's our astronaut right here. You can see right there. It's our astronaut. We finished that. Now we're working on the Schwarzette. And then so we'll now clip on the Schwarzette here. On like that. There we go. Clip that on. And so, yeah, I panel lined because it would be harder to get the markers in there. And then we'll add the other parts here and then see if we need to clean up anything else, including a couple cool clear parts, because there are some clear parts on here, which is cool. So we need D1 and 1. Just D1. Okay, just D1. That's a cool halo, right? I think it looks fantastic. And then we'll put the clear piece over the sticker, which looks neat. And then the last bits of flare here. This kit, obviously, it's got a big weapon that'll take a little time to build. I think this will probably be a 3-stream model kit because there are many stickers that will need to be put on here. But it should be a fun build. None of it looked super complicated. Sometimes the weapons can be a little tricky, but it looks pretty solid here. All right, then we just got to put on our accents here on the head. Get those going. 2, 2. All right. 11, 12. Obviously, it's happening tonight. I have not been keeping up with what's going on for WWE Fastlane. I do know that at least one title changed hands. We'll do a full breakdown of that show on Monday because I'm going to be watching the replay, or I'll just watch it whatever on Peacock tomorrow. So I'll be able to see that. I'm going to watch that tomorrow afternoon, and then I'll be able to talk about it on Monday. And I also know that there was a title change on Collision, because Collision happened, started an hour earlier. And you're like, oh, is it because TNT and sports? No, it just started an hour earlier because of the WWE running a pay-per-view. They just started early because they wanted to try to see if they could get people to watch an hour of Collision, because their numbers have been fucking down. I don't know if it helped that there was apparently a title change in the first 20 minutes of the show. So I'm also going to miss that because since the East Coast version came out an hour early, the West Coast version probably started. It will probably be starting in a couple of minutes, it seems like, which means I won't be able to watch it the first hour. I'll watch the second hour, which is a little annoying, but it happens. All right. I feel like these are going to pop out, but if they do, I can always glue them in because I do have liquid cement. But this is the head. The head is done here, and it's looking pretty dope, I'm going to say. The halo looks really nice. The one sticker on here looks good. The eyes are not a sticker. They are plastic, and that is fun. Yeah, the marker, our gray marker, looks really nice on this off-white. That's looking good. Just clean this up here. Fucking with the WWE seems like half of AEW's goal right now. Oh, I mean, it goes both ways, right? AEW is putting under contract people that have ended their WWE contracts because, of course, it makes sense. And then also the WWE is next week, AEW is running on a Tuesday because of sports on Dynamite instead of a Wednesday. I'll be doing my stream don't worry, next Tuesday, I'll be doing my normal Tuesday stream because we're going to try out a new game that we'll be doing some model kit builder or model builder. Is that the name of the game? Let me look. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to look at that because that's in... Hold on. What's the name of that game? That game is called Model Builder. We're going to be checking out Model Builder because it was free on Epic, so I got it on Epic. We're going to be checking out Model Builder next week, but I'll be doing my normal Tuesday stream instead of doing a stream on a Wednesday instead because I like watching Dynamite, but I'll just watch it on Wednesday. I don't care enough to not watch it then. But because AEW is running on a Tuesday instead of the normal Wednesday, well, WWE has a show on a Tuesday. They have NXT, and they're fucking Undertaker is showing up. John Cena is gonna be there. Cody Rhodes is gonna be there. Paul Heyman is gonna be there. They're just doing whatever. I mean, Becky Lynch is their NXT champion right now, the women's champion. So they're just bringing in a bunch of motherfuckers, most likely to fuck with, of course, AEW. So it goes both ways. It's not a mistake that Edge's first match, Adam Copeland's first match is going to be on Tuesday. That's not a mistake that they've decided to do that. It is on both sides. I know some people were like, oh, you mean a week, 2 weeks after he's shown up? They're like, oh, they didn't just no, it's very telling. Come on. You can like AEW more than WWE. I don't care which you like more or if you like both or if you don't like either, because sometimes people don't like either, and that's also totally okay. But to say oh, well, it's all WWE and AEW's not doing any of this. It's nah. Does WWE change any of their schedule to fuck with AEW? I mean, no. Neither changed their schedule to fuck with the other. Nobody wants to change their schedule, right? For a little while, NXT was on Wednesdays. And people were like, WWE put it on Wednesdays to compete with Dynamite. Turns out it was because that's when the USA Network wanted it on. And then the numbers were so bad that USA was like, what if we moved it to Tuesday? Because the channels don't want competition. They don't want you to choose. For wrestling, there are people that do think head-to-head is the way to go. But companies that own television networks don't care about that. They want viewership. So neither company goes out of their way. Now, AEW moving their show tonight from 8 to 10 until up an hour from 7 to 9. That's not to fuck with WWE. That's to save face. So their numbers aren't that bad because at least they can say the first hour numbers were good. Not that everybody watches each other, but there are people who don't watch weekly WWE programming, but they do watch the pay-per-views. And they might be more inclined to watch Fastlane instead of AEW Collision. Oh, we're going to hear from Adam Copeland again. We just heard from Adam. It's great to see Adam, but we don't need necessarily to hear it again. And in that first hour, there was a title change because they want people to stick around to see, well, maybe in the second hour, there's going to be other nonsense and it'll be cool and I should stick around. But that's not to fuck with WWE so much as that's to save face. Though both having so many shows that it kind of happens anyway. So, like, yeah, that's the real thing, right? Like, WWE likes doing Saturday pay-per-views. They don't always do Saturday pay-per-views, but they like Saturday pay-per-views. That's going to compete with AEW free television. That's just always going to compete with it, right? That's not their intention. That's just what's happening. They're not going out of their way to do it to make sure that they're fucking with them, right? They're not picking Saturday over Sunday. Mainly, they're picking Saturday this time of year because they don't want to compete with football. WWE feels their biggest competitor is pro football because on Mondays, they get fucking wrecked by football because everything else does too. And Sunday nights, they get wrecked by football because everyone else does as well. What's really fun is that AEW will be competing with itself, would have been competing with itself because their next pay-per-view is on a Saturday because that's when they can get the building. They don't do Saturday pay-per-views, but they are this time. They're doing a Saturday pay-per-view, and so they compete with themselves. So instead, Collision is going to be on a Friday, and now Collision into Rampage, they'll do a 3-hour show apparently, and that will compete directly with SmackDown, which they don't want to do, which is why Collision's on at 10 p.m. So Collision will go head-to-head with SmackDown, and that's not AEW trying to compete with the WWE. That's AEW not wanting to compete with itself, which it has done in the past because it's run a Ring of Honor show on a Saturday, and the Ring of Honor show went into Collision, so they did compete with themselves. But in that case, it doesn't matter as much because they're not expecting a lot out of the Ring of Honor shows. So everybody's cool. I'm going to add these stickers, and then we're going to take a pause for the cause. I almost forgot to add these secondary stickers. We got to put all these stickers on here. Colors look good. I love this like neon pink. I love this neon purple. These are lovely looking colors. These stickers look rad as heck. Not unhappy about these stickers. Maybe I don't love the fact that I have applied 5 stickers so far in not much building, but you know, 'tis what it is. I don't know what's up with this Tuesday, but I'm just used to AEW shows moving, being them getting preempted by sports. Yes, Lashbrook, this is a sports thing. TBS and TNT like having wrestling on, but they don't want to compete with sports. So they will preempt them for tennis or basketball or baseball many times. Rampage has been moved around. Collision has been moved around. One time Collision was at 4 p.m. Like, they'll move those around. They'll move dynamite around. And you might say to yourself, well, wait a minute. Isn't wrestling big? Aren't the numbers big? Well, one, they're not sports big. Not all sports, but most sports. But two, and this is the most important thing. Sometimes it's college basketball, college football. I don't know what's on TBS that's being preempted. I will let you know. I will do my due diligence right now, and I will let you know. You have to remember that TBS shows baseball, and baseball is around because they love fucking baseball. But let me check the schedule here. View schedule. Like right now, TBS has baseball on it. But if I go to Wednesday night, the 11th, what is going to be on Wednesday? Major League Baseball Division Series is the Atlanta Braves at the Phillies, and then the LA Dodgers at the Diamondbacks. There are 2 baseball games on Wednesday. And you might even say, are those baseball games going to get better ratings than wrestling? Maybe not. But you know what those sporting events will get? Way better advertisers. Because there is a stigma around wrestling. There's a huge stigma around wrestling and wrestling fans. And so advertisers don't want their shit on during wrestling. And that's why you see real bullshit ads, like Cricket Wireless ads, and like some low-tier car commercials you've never heard of. Or in the case of like Rampage, you get fucking ads for like, oh God, like weird youth ministry nonsense, and not prescription drugs, but lawsuits about prescription drugs. Like if you want to join a class action lawsuit, oh boy, there's an ad on TNT at 11 p.m. on a Friday Eastern that is excited to talk to you. Or like Fox during the Friday show, during SmackDown. Fox will air ads for Adult Swim. But they don't air ads for The Simpsons. Because the ads that Fox wants to show for The Simpsons, they don't care. But they'll show you an ad for like Crapopolis, because they think wrestling fans would eat that shit up. And they probably will. But yeah, that low tier ads go to wrestling because the perception from advertisers is that it's a low tier audience. Yes, those class action lawsuits, I see ads for that a lot. I mean, even TBS and TNT don't show ads for like their big prestige things. They show ads for bullshit during that. There was a time and place where wrestling was hot and they had big ads. Skittles, Snickers, like those ads would be there. But now it's like Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty has promoted WWE for a while. That's their big get, is the video game that people were like, wait, that they're still making that? They put an update out for that game? Yikes. Like, that's getting ads. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I want to talk about ways that's right, you can support what I do here. And I'm going to keep this brief. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime link with your Twitch, you get that token. Use it for somebody. What about for me? Now it's time for pad ads. Yes, instead of bullshit ads, it's time for bullshit ads. No one has gifted a sub yet. It is still early in the month. If you would like to give a sub to somebody in the community, if you want to share the love that way, you could do that. You could gift a sub and join the gift sub leaderboard. Be the top of it. Be the only one there. Or cheer is always helpful. Bits and coins always appreciated. You could join Harold on that list if you would like. It's optional. You don't have to do that if you don't want to do that, but you can. There are other ways to support me, and I will quickly try to get through all of them. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There is a $1, a $3, a $5, and a $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining my Patreon. I get people ask this on occasion. The best cut I get is on Patreon. The cut I get from YouTube is pretty okay. The cut I get from Twitch is not great, but it is consistent. And also, Twitch is obviously the easiest way for you to support me because you're already here on Twitch. You don't have to click any links. You already have an account on Twitch. You probably have money associated with this account. It's the easiest thing if you want to support me, but you can support me wherever you'd like. Or if you don't ever want to do that, you also could just not do it. Speaking of YouTube, I do have a YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that for free. You could become a member for $2, and you get my Wednesday videos a day early. That's the benefit. I have figured out what my project is for 2024. I have almost narrowed down a name. Instead of me coming up with a pun name and then figuring out what I want the project to be, I have figured out what the project is, and now I have to come up with a name that works for it that also includes my name, Bear. I don't have to do that, but I want to do that. I like having that project be a pun. It's not always been a Pat Bear pun, but it mostly has been a Pat Bear pun because I did backgrounded characters, which is a pun, or play on words, I should say. It's not a pun, it's play on words, but it's not my name. Anyway, those are monthly ways to support me. You could also do a one-time donation if you wanted to through Coffee or PayPal or Stream Elements. You could make a direct dough that way if you wanted to. And everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, through Patreon, through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and I buy model kits and equipment with that fund. This kit that I'm currently working on, the Schwarzette, I bought on Amazon. I was happy to buy this kit on Amazon. It's looking dope already. I'm excited to keep working on it. I do have a backlog of a few other things. I have I have a Lego set. I've got a couple model kits. My backlog is actually pretty fucking light right now. If I'm being honest, I have 2 model kits and a Lego set in my backlog. I will be buying more. I've got a fake Lego set, a knockoff Lego set that I purchased for Halloween. It is a knockoff thing just to build on Halloween, to be festive, the night before Halloween, I should say. But I don't have a lot in my backlog right now. If you want to help with that, you could buy something off my Amazon wish list, and it would jump the queue and become the next thing I build. And that would be rad if you want to do that. I've got Lego sets. I got model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. If you want to buy something for me to build on Christmas, it's right there. And it's a polar bear kit. It's cute as hell. I would love to build that. You could buy that. The gun tank is a very decent price for that old model kit. It's a good old model kit. I've built the early type of the gun tank, but I've never built this gun tank. I would love to do that. I got fake Lego, real Lego, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits that never go on sale, kits that are dropped in price right now, looking real good. That just look neat. Take a look, see if there's something there you'd like to see me build. The very last kit from Iron Blooded Orphans in the high grade that I have never built, the Frieren, is on this wish list. I would love to build that kit. Yeah, a bunch of different stuff. See if there's something there you'd like to see me put together. I would be happy to do it. And some gear at the bottom, because maybe you just want to help me out with some gear, or like a GameStop gift card or something. You could do that. Obviously, optional. But if you want to buy something for me to build, now would be a fucking great time for that. Because the coffers are a little low. I have to invest in some kits. I should say that one of the kits I have in my backlog is a real grade, and that will take a long ass time to build because they're very detailed. So that is good. It's not like I got 2 high grades in there. I got an SD kit, but it's an XD X standard. So those have just like 1,000 fucking stickers. We'll get back to building just in a moment. I have a throne wish list. Check that out if you want an alternative to my Amazon list. It's nice to have alternatives. You could also buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store. You go to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card. They send you a gift card code in your email. You then copy and paste that code, send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open, or a whisper here on Twitch with that gift card code, and I will use that gift card and buy something that seems neat. And you could also make a suggestion. You'd be like, hey, I saw this on USA Gundam Store. You should pick this up if you want to. If you want to support me and you are like, well, Pat, I would like to support you, but I do not have money for that. Well, one way to support me, because you keep up to date with what's going on with me, is to join my Discord. I post build photos. People post stuff they're working on. It's a nice little vibe. Sometimes people don't watch much streams anymore, but they still keep up with what's going on in my Discord, and I think that's fine. A couple video links to check out. I will have a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up on Monday, but if you want to watch the most recent one, which was my live recording of me talking about, live on Twitch, I should say, me talking about anime from the summer season and previewing the fall season, which we're in right now. You can watch that. Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every week I write a character piece, write and perform that character piece, which I have done some amount of rehearsal for. This one, my brain is scattered for a second. Let's see, which one is this one? This is I did a fake TikTok in this one where I'm talking about, it's like me doing a fake TikTok trend, talking about the real truth behind a particular thing. So I would say you should check that out because I think it's pretty funny. So maybe check that out. See if you like it. Let's see. What can we do? All right. That's all of the stuff that I needed to sell you. So what's going to happen right now is I am going to get ready to talk about some anime. We'll get into some anime conversation here. So let's do that. But first, I am in desperate need of water. So I'm going to drink some water, and we're going to dramatically transition back to the overhead right now. It's nice. I can still feel like the smoke on me. I gotta clean up after this. I should say that. I walked in the house. I turned on my overhead camera. I turned on my lights. I already had this done. I had all the parts knolled for the Lego set. I had all of my sheets out here, my sprues out on the sprue holder. I was all ready to go. I had my set up, all ready to go. And I sat here and I read the last 2 pages of a manga that I had open on my computer. And then my buzzer went off letting me know it was time to go. And I had basically 5 minutes of last minute prep. Because this is not fucking turnkey, but it's easy to set up ahead of time. And then I just have to turn the camera on. I could turn the camera on many hours earlier, but that would seem unnecessary. This camcorder is meant to be on for many hours, but I try to only run it when I need it. I get it set up, a little before the stream. Barely ready to go, indeed. But I was ready to go for this one. All right, let's talk about some anime here. It's time. You may remember that last week, Frieren had put out fucking 4 goddamn episodes of this anime. 4 goddamn episodes came out on the first day, and then episode 5 came out today. I am not covering... Well, wait. I am not covering... I only covered 2, and I'm covering episode 3 and 4 today, and then next week I will cover episodes 5 and 6, because episode 5 came out today. It is a 2-core, back-to-back 2-core, and so I was able to talk about, I'll be able to talk about more of it. Okay, I think this is right. Let me look at this image here. It's a little hard to see. All right, I think I did this correctly. I'll figure out when I go and put this back piece on. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the first 2 episodes, and then I watched episode 1 of I Shall Survive Using Potions, which is an isekai that I had a good time watching. I'll give you that preview. And I have not watched episode 1 of season 2 of Spy Family. I will be checking that out, of course. And I did not watch the first episode of My Boss is Goofy. My New Boss is Goofy. I can't remember what it said. But I will check that out. Probably check that out. And then I think Bodareba came out this weekend or is coming out, and I'm going to cover that on Monday, I think. Yeah. Along with The Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch. I'm going to continue to watch that. And the first episode is Stardust Telepath, which is the only, I think, real girls doing things show this season, because this one is I Shall Survive Using Potions. It's really an isekai. It's a female-led isekai, but it's really just an isekai. All right. I think I have put this on correctly. I will find out when I put the front part on soon. Because, yeah, that's the step there. Let's continue putting together this chest while I tell you about the 2 episodes of Frieren. Okay, so if you haven't been watching Frieren, episodes 1 and 2, many years ago, 50 years ago, the hero, a human, along with a mage, who is an elf named Frieren, a healer who was a priest, human priest, and a elf fighter. They defeated the demon lord. They ended the war with the demons. There are still some demons out and about, but most of the demons were defeated. The war is basically over. The good guys won. Hooray. And then everybody kind of went their separate ways. And then eventually, Himmel, the hero, passed away. And the priest, while visiting the priest, our girl, Frieren, raises Fern to be a mage. Fern wanted to follow, wanted to be a priest, but is a mage and is now traveling with Frieren. Frieren is trying to revisit some sites now that only one of her party members is still alive. She wants to go visit him and kind of like trace back some stuff. In this first episode, Fern, who is now kind of age and ready to make some travel, she starts kind of understanding who her master here, her mage master is, like, as a person. She's starting to kind of understand a little bit more about this woman. But so here's the thing: Frieren is acting suspicious and visiting a bunch of weird, dangerous shops. And that's because it's Fern's birthday coming up. And Frieren is like, I'm going to be honest with you. Even though you've been growing and I've been tutoring you, I don't really know a lot about you. I'm not good at this. So I wasn't sure quite what to get you for your birthday. And Fern is like, mostly just like, she doesn't ask for a lot. She's just like, I don't know. I'm pretty pleased that you recognize that you don't know a lot about me and you were working on trying to learn more. Like, that's great. Thank you for putting in the effort. Again, it's not a lot of effort, but she is trying. Let's see. Frieren, as I said, has decided now her quest is she's going to revisit places that Himmel, Hyder, and Eisen is was the priest. Hyder is the dwarf fighter that they had visited, the 4 of them. And so the first place they go is a place where they had sealed away Qual, who was the demon of corruption. They couldn't defeat it at the time, but they could seal them. So they were like, okay, well, we got this, big bad. And unfortunately, it looks like the seal is breaking. And so Frieren is like, okay, I gotta take care of this. And she finds out that Himmel, before he died, would show up every year to check on the seal and was confident that Frieren would visit before it broke. So Frieren says, like, the reason why I couldn't defeat him before and could only seal Qual is because Qual had made a killing spell that bypassed armor and barriers. And it was so powerful at the time that all she could do was seal him, because it was just like no one could beat this fucking spell. Qual ends up getting unsealed just as Frieren is there. But this demon got sealed 80 years ago. And one of the things that happened in 80 years while this demon was asleep is human mages studied the spell and reverse engineered it, and now they can block it. They can block the spell, and Qual only has this spell. This demon only researched their entire existence this one fuck you spell and had the ultimate fuck you spell, but then can't do anything else. And this show is often like fun. It's not funny, haha. It's funny like, oh, that's funny. Like, it's funny, quaint. This is fucking funny. Qual gets killed very easily because Frieren uses the spell that the demon created because it's unblockable, or it was unblockable, and the demon never learned to block his own spell. So he just gets fucking owned by the spell he created, and it rules. And then they go to, Frieren realizes the village elder that they're talking to was a young boy when they came through and sealed the demon, that she recognizes, which is fun. And that reminds her a bunch about Himmel, and just like, it's a good little experience. Defeating this demon was important to do, but also is a fun little thing. Fern points out that Himmel must have had a deep trust in Frieren to be so certain she would return to take care of Qual, which is true. She must have, like, at some point, he clearly trusted her enough to be like, well, someday she's going to come and take care of it. She'll figure out a way. That's why we sealed them, because eventually she'll take care of it. Last person says, based on Twitter, the only things I know about WWE Fastlane are Jade Cargill showed up, and it has more Pizza Hut cross promotion than Code Geese. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there are still some brands that want to do partnership deals, but not a lot of them. Yes, Jade Cargill made an appearance. Jade arrived, and they're treating Jade like a big fucking deal, because of course they are, because they should be. We'll see how that goes long term. That's cool. That's cool. All right, we're done with the chest here. We need to panel line this. Just get our gray marker. Now, I will tell you about episode 4 of Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. Episode 4. So there's this beach. They use magic to clean it. Like, it's a good little portion of the episode is them cleaning this beach. And it's like, why are we doing this? We're doing this for Frieren's favorite pastime, which is weird grimoires, because she loves learning odd spells. She just loves weird spells. That's her passion. She never had a hobby. It was suggested by Himmel that she get a hobby years and years ago. This is her hobby, which is collecting weird spells. So in exchange for cleaning the beach, she gets a grimoire written by Flemme. Flemme was her teacher many, many years ago. But it turns out that this this grimoire is actually fake. But it's still worth doing it. They finish by the new year, and locals hang out on the beach and watch the sunrise, and they haven't been able to for a long time. Now they're able to, which is real nice. So they did good work there. And years ago, she missed, because she's a late sleeper, she missed the sunrise years and years ago with her friends. But this time she does make it, but she kind of finds it dull until she sees how much Fern likes it. Because that's the whole point, is seeing things from a different perspective. And in this case, that perspective is, from a young lady that she's hanging out with. And friends, of course. They then visit Eisen. I'm sorry, I said it before. Hyder was the priest. Eisen is I got the names mixed up. I apologize. Eisen is our fighter friend, the only one still alive. They visit Eisen, and because they haven't seen each other for 30 years. And he's like, hey, I know somewhere near here is Flamme's a real grimoire. Because Flamme was able to speak to the dead. And maybe it would be nice if you could talk to Himmel one more time. Like maybe you want to chat with the dead. And also that was the let's see. Oh, we're working on the arms, and we can do these arms at the same time here with the same stickers. So we will do that. We can build these parts here the same way. These parts of the arms we can just do at once, which is nice. That is a nice bit of business for us. We can just build these sets here. So we'll just be popping these pieces out and getting ready to add many stickers to them in just a moment here. But that was her teacher, as I said. They find the grimoire, and then apparently the grimoire says that all souls visit a actual place that is connected to the world that they're in, which is at the northmost point of the continent, which is where the Demon Lord's castle is. And that's it. They're like, hey, we're going to go to this place. We're going to go to this place near the Demon's Castle. I'm going to visit with Himmel. Do you want to come with me? And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm probably going to die soon. So I would just slow you down. So don't worry about me. You do you. You go have a great time. You slow them down in his old age. But then he's like, hey, reminder that it took us 10 years to get to that castle because time is fucking relative for an elf. So he's like, hey, just so you know, it took a long time to get there, so it also might take a long time this time. And she's like, yeah, I know that. All right, so we got to put these stickers on here on both sides of these. We're doing the ones with the cool effects because all of these are going to have cool effects. Now, there hasn't been a lot. There are still some shows that haven't debuted yet, right? There's still some shows I haven't watched the first episodes of. But I can confidently tell you the best show this season is this one. Frieren, Beyond Journey's End is the best show out there. There is not a better show right now. There could be. There's always the possibility there could be a better show. But in my opinion, this is the best new anime of the season. I would say please watch it. It is slow. It is slow-paced on purpose. It is beautifully animated. It's goddamn gorgeous. They're sinking so much fucking money into this thing to make it look right. It is fantastic. I cannot say enough good things about it. If you are looking for a cool, fucking good-ass anime, I would say that you should watch this one. And now I'll tell you about a silly one that's an isekai. You know I was going to be watching some isekai this season. I believe I am watching 4. 2 returning, 2 new. There are 2 that I might watch. Hey, did you know that that there was an isekai earlier this year that I didn't know was an isekai? Dead Mount Death Play is an isekai. I had no idea. But part 2 because it's a 2-core, part 2 is out now. And I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but I might because it's an isekai. But it's one of those tricky ones where it's set in a futuristic Tokyo, but the main character is from a different world. And I didn't know that part. I only knew that it was set in a futuristic Tokyo. Now, some people would say that doesn't count, Pat. A different world means somebody from our world goes to a different world. But in my opinion, nah. If you travel to a different world than your own, and you're the main character, it's an isekai. In the same way that Tenchi Muyo is not an isekai because the main character is Tenchi. And Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is not an isekai because the main character is Miss Kobayashi. If you think that Toru is the main character, then it's an isekai. But if you think that Miss Kobayashi is the main character, which I do, it's not an isekai. And then that Jazzer Dropkick is not an isekai because it's many character. That one's not an isekai. Because in that world, hell is not a different dimension. It is part of the earth. That's just a moving into a new neighborhood is a guy. Or it show, I should say. All right. Now I got to put clear on all of these. Got to pop a clear on here. All D5, right? These are all D5. Great. They can all go in the same. I love this idea of clear parts over stickers. It diffuses the sticker. It hides some mistakes if you fucked up, like I would generally do. And it looks just rad. I mean, it just looks cool. In person, it looks so much cooler having these stickers behind plastic. Clear plastic, I should say. And all of these stickers have that, which is very fucking rad. Not the weapon stickers, but all the stickers on here have that. And it just looks... It looks so neat. The difference between these two is probably not even noticeable on camera. You can maybe zoom in here. The difference between, this. That's not gonna. Let's see. Let's see. Focus. Can you focus? No. That didn't work. Well, that's better. The difference between this and this is not noticeable really on camera. It's just kind of diffused. But if I take this and then I pop in this clear plastic piece, it does dramatically look different. And I think it looks way better now. I think that looks so cool. Anyway, that's just me. I'm now going to tell you about another anime. It's a new show. I Shall Survive Using Potions. We didn't get a whole lot going on in here. It is a story about our main character, Kaoru. Kaoru she's a young office worker. She has not been at the job that long. She's still hanging out with her friends from college, but she's a hard worker. She's been working late. She's already used to having energy drinks to get the job done. But she finishes up late and she heads out from work to go meet up with her friends, and she dies. And she's talking to a higher power, which we later learn is the god of Earth. There are many gods for the different universes, but we're meeting the Earth god. And the Earth god is like, oh no, I fucked up so bad. I'm so sorry that I fucked up. This hasn't happened in a really long time. And God explains that there are disruptions between the different worlds. There are some weird disruptions that happen. And our God was fixing that the Earth God was fixing that disruption. And unfortunately, accidentally killed Kaoru. And he's like, okay, so I can't fix this. I can't bring you back to this world. I can't repair what's been done. Everyone already thinks you're dead. It's over. I'm sorry. I can't make it better. But I can have you be able to reincarnate in a different world. There's other worlds connected. I'm going to send you to Verni. Verni is a world that you're going to be reincarnated in. And it's there's some magic and there's some monsters and stuff, and it'll be fine. So our girl knows about video games. She knows about fantasy worlds. She's read fiction. She's one of those, like, people in a zombie movie that's just like, hey, you have to fucking tell me if you got bit. Like, they are aware of the cliches. Our girl is aware of cliches that may or may not happen in these kind of stories. So she's just like, all right, well, I have some requests because you are reincarnating me because you did accidentally kill me. So I've got some requests that I would like you to hear. And our God, Earth God, actually, not our God, Earth God is like, great. There's an administrator of that world. They will help you out. So then we meet the god of Verni. Her name is Celeste. And turns out Kaori, young person working in the business world, real smart, very good at negotiating. She recognizes instantly, you know what? Celestine, or Celly, she wants to go by. Celestine is a big fan of the Earth God, and was like, "Oh, this is so cool! I'm so glad to help you." Because then I got to like talk with him, and like she's got like she's either a big fan or she's got a crush. Somehow she's real into the Earth God, which is great for negotiations. Kaori, through outsmarting her and just in general being like pretty good at negotiating, gets overpowered cheats. And basically her argument, which I think, again, a very fair argument is, hey, I'm going to a fantasy world. I could die immediately. I need some help here. You got to give me some hand. And Kaori, because she knows about these things, or Kaoru, I should say, Kaoru, is like, here's what I want. I want to understand all available languages instantly. So just like, let me be able to read and write in any language. Very smart, right? Give me a younger body. Age my body, but still me. Age my body back to whatever the, like, an adult is there. Youngest I can be in and be an adult. And I want an item box. I want a magical item box that only I can use, but I can put whatever I want in there. And it'll be fine if it goes in there in storage. Real cheat skill stuff. And finally, the last thing that she wants, the thing that she knows she's going to need. The title of the anime gives it away. She wants to be able to create potions. She wants to instantly be able to make potions just using her imagination, and also have, and you're like, well, Pat, what is she going to do? Like, she doesn't have access to all of the things she'll need to make those potions. Yes, she does. Because she asked for the ability to also just craft the materials to hold the potions instantly. It's cheats. It's all cheats. The item box, all of it is all cheats. Because she's like, look, I don't want to be the person that goes and fights that is super strong. I want to make potions and be a businesswoman and sell potions. That's her big plan, is to do this. It's honestly one of the best plans I've ever heard for a character come up with that knows they're being reincarnated. So she kind of like gets her way and gets it. She wakes up and immediately realizes she should have been more specific. She can understand every language, so she knows what the birds are talking about. And the birds talk about some kind of conflict with princes, and it doesn't come up in the rest of this episode. Maybe it'll come up in the future. I assume it will. Otherwise, it was a weird conversation. But the birds are talking shit about some humans in the land figuring some stuff out. Maybe that'll be important later. Again, I don't know. 26 and 25. These arms are symmetrical, so we can build almost all of it together, which is really nice. 25 goes on like this. 26 goes like that. And we can build these, and then we'll be done with stickers for a little while once we get these stickers on here on the arms. So we'll do that. So Kaoru, she walks for a really long time, and she's taking some of the potions. She's testing out her potions. She hurts herself to test out a potion, which is a weird choice, but she does, and the potions work well based on what she's thinking. And she finally, after walking for a really long time, finds a town. And she's like, I'm going to go into the guild or the hunters area. And I'm going to sell my wares. And she comes in and she's like, I got these potions. They'll heal you up good. Who do I talk to? Can I sell them to you? And they're like, what are you talking about? We're not interested, girl. We don't know what you're talking about. Why are you in the way? You can stay here if you need to, if you don't have any money, but like, what are we even doing here? And she's like, oh, this sucks. I can't believe that nobody wants my potions. It never occurred to her that that was a possibility. All right, where's this sticker go? The sticker goes here. I actually don't know where this sticker goes. Sorry, everybody. Oh, it goes under here. Okay. That wasn't great explanation though. But then, guess what, everybody? Somebody comes in who was injured. One of the guys is injured. His partner is there. She's crying. The doctor and the pharmacist are nowhere in town. They've only got some herbs. And she's just like, okay, well, listen to me. Take this. You take this. Heal yourself. And everyone's just like, what the fuck? What is this? What are potions? Huh? We were told explicitly that they understood what potions were in this world. No, the gods were a little confused, and Kaori got told some wrong information. There is very little. There is magic in this world, but very little of it. No one's ever heard of fucking potions like this that can solve problems. They just do medicines based on herbs, and they're fairly effective. But even the magic that's in this world is barely functional. It mostly doesn't work. It barely ever works. And it's not like impressive fantasy magic. So everyone's blown the fuck away. And Kaoru, after doing some research, realizes, I need to get out of here because I just performed a miracle. Like, they're calling her an angel. She's like, I just performed a miracle. This isn't going to go great for me. And it doesn't, because immediately the next day, somebody shows up to take her to the local lord, who she found out through her research is a scumbag. He's a shitty dude. Nobody likes him. And to kind of make a long story short, Kaoru decides the best way to get out of here is she manipulates him and is like, well, this watch that I had was part of the potion process and it got damaged. She basically cons a guy into damaging her watch. Then she basically gets put locked up in a bedroom, like she's restrained in that room. She uses a potion to knock out a maid that is about her size. And then, I need 28 and 29. She knocks out a maid, uses a potion to make herself look like that maid, steals everything in the room, every piece of furniture in that room, she steals and puts in her item box so she can sell later, and then slips away and runs away. That is her solution. She's like, I cannot stay in this town. I gotta go. And then she hides a little bit because she's like, if they've got horses, they can find me. And she overhears some guys on horses that are trying to track her down. And they're like, all right, well, we fucked her. We didn't say fucked around. We messed around for long enough. We can just say we couldn't find her and it'll be fine. We got paid. Everything's okay. Because they're hunters. He hired a bunch of hunters who are good friends with the guy that she saved to go track her down. And they're not working that hard. Because they're even if we found her, we'd really turn over the girl that saved our friend, our savior. Like we would, turn her in. Which is great. So they're doing a very bad job of trying to find her, which is excellent. And then the episode ends with two children who seem to be high-ranking nobles and their guard discover a bed just in the woods, and Kaoru is in that bed. Most likely, that's the bed that she stole from the Duke that she just set up to sleep because she's on her way to the capital because she's got to have a new plan. I like this show quite a bit. It is, as I said, our main character in this story is much smarter than most characters in isekai like this. She has made some mistakes, but those mistakes were not getting the right information. She's not like a dumbass. She just got some bad beats. She was just given improper information. Excuse me, which is not a crime. And it's, a goddess told her that there was magic. It's just the magic is low level. She didn't specify, how many people can do magic and are they excellent at it. She just didn't have the proper information. It's a lot of fun. I'm definitely watching another episode of this. This is my kind of show, my kind of goofy isekai, female-led. So I'll be watching this weekly and kind of giving you the lowdown on this one because it was a good time. And that's gonna pretty much wrap up our stream for tonight. We're gonna finish an arm, which is kind of wild that we got to the point where we're done with an arm. But we'll finish up this arm, and then we'll work on the other arm. I need a little bit more panel lining here. We'll work on the other arm on Monday, and then work on the feet, and then work our way up. Because we still have the feet and the waist of this kit, and then of course the shield, the backpack, and the big weapon. We got to build a big weapon, which goes on the back and then looks fucking cool. And the cool sword, we got to build a cool sword and all that. We got a lot to put together with this, because the big sword can also become a thing on the back, and then there's a small sword. So we got options for our kit, and it's going to look dope as hell because the Schwarzette looks dope as hell. But we got a lot done with this kit so far, which is neat. And there's a lot of color pages in this manual. I enjoy that quite a bit. That's helpful for everybody. That's going to wrap up our stream. I want to thank everybody for spending some time with me here tonight. We are going to raid, and we are going to go and hang out with the fine folks at Loading Ready Run. Loading Ready Run is doing a capped subathon. They are doing 24 hours. A bunch of hour blocks is just videos, but they are running 24 hours a day. Streaming for a whole week to celebrate their anniversary of existing as a company. I believe right now they are working on a washlet, and I believe they are close to being done with working on a bidet. So we will check in with them on bidet watch, because that's great. And I don't know what they're doing after that. But they've been doing a bunch of different things. They've been doing Magic the Gathering content and Minecraft stuff and lots of games together and all kinds of different stuff. So we're going to go give them a raid. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Hope you come on this raid. I hope you come back on Monday as I continue working on this gorgeous kit. And I will see you on the next one. Well, we got to get ready for the raid to go. But I'll see you soon. Thanks for spending some of your Saturday night here with me, your friend Pat. Talk to you soon, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Stream over now.